What is the most bizarre tattoo request you've had?
To carry the weight of all my race, like
It's out of your hands.
Yeah, certain artists, certain tattoo shops, I ain't even gonna mention no names, but since the whole, like, even like last year, like BLM.
should you tattoo everyone's skin the same? Like, meaning should you tattoo white skin the same way you tattoo black skin?
What? Ain't that a bit racist? I think like we need to do more stuff like this. We need to build our own conventions. We need to have our own. Welcome to Inkwa Tattoos and welcome to Inkwa Talks, part of the Vture network, a new platform for podcasts, talk shows, music and much more. Joining me today, we have different pillars from different houses of tattooing in South London. Representing the House of Inkology, we have Sammy Inks. Representing the House of Ink House, we have Guns Gomes, and representing my house, and me and myself, the Lift Kid and Paku Bwale. How you doing, guys?
Great.
Yeah? Enjoying the weather? It's been a madness, isn't it?
It's very English.
Island weather, man. I think people forget we live on an island because this place is mashed up so many places. So.
On the other side, so it's reverse, isn't it? It's cold all the time, then.
Yeah.
Spells of sunshine. That's nice in the mornings. But then don't be fooled.
Don't be fooled at all, man.
Heating on still, bro.
No, the heat stays on. The heat stays on.
Just to put the heat on. You have to stay there.
So, what's been going on? How's life not tattooing? Or going back to tattooing, really? Everyone prepared?
It's alright, man. To be honest, I've been doing stuff that's, I guess, tattoo related, just getting designs done, trying to explore things a bit more. But the time goes quick, like, so shit's got kind of quick, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like from December, beginning of the year, it's like
Same time this year, same time last year.
yeah, like it's ending when it was starting, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been alright, man. Just getting. To be honest, it's been good. It's like a blessing in disguise because there's things that you'll know that you never get time to do shit.
Nah.
So this is like literally you can work on stuff like literally, you know, you probably work on what you do on an everyday basis. Work on what you're about to do tomorrow, tattoo wise, isn't it? Where today, like this, what we do going through right now, we can just chill, do some stuff like, you know, painting, anything other than tattoo really as well. So
Yeah.
I think it's been kind of blessings.
Yeah, it definitely has been, because you do have more time to actually focus on yourself now. And the lack of not having to think about somebody else the next day. I've got this client. Consultation. Oh my god. I mean, we want them, but it's a refreshing break in a way. Like Brendan said, it's a nice there's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I do think though, yeah, if you were not doing stuff before and you got this break and you didn't do stuff, yeah, it's quite bad, no? If you were working really hard, you shouldn't feel guilty to have a break.
No, not at all.
Not at all. You know what I mean? Like,
You might do shit before.
but I mean, I guess if you were working to a level before and you were feeling like you were working too much, when you have the break, you feel lazy as well. So there's that break where you have to just discover that it's okay to not do anything for a while, you know?
I think that's something you suffer from as a creative because it's like you're always thinking, I got to do something, I got to produce something. It's almost like you got to produce something for people to see. Yeah.
I think in general, I think it's a good thing to produce because otherwise, yeah, you're just taking up space on the earth. You know what I mean? Like, I think with everyone, if you're not producing, you're taking stuff away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's consumer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Producers and consumers, yeah. So.
But you do need that time to recharge, you know, which has been a long time, really. You know, it's been too long, yeah.
If you overcharge your phone, the battery.
Why not, innit? Yeah, for real.
Yeah, it shortens the lifespan.
Yeah.
What you say, a man just get in front of his first tattoo and just collapses.
Stop shaking in front of the floor.
Oh my god, I'm not even looking forward to that.
The first time you just straight. You're looking at each other in the eye.
Is it alright? Yeah, it's cool. No.
That's sick.
Have you not heard about this tattoo ink? They're banning the blues and the greens and. I think that's what I'm saying. I think it's a hype thing though. I think it's a hype.
What's the reason for it?
They're saying that some of the inks or the ingredients within the inks are harmful, but they're not really regulated. They're not regulated because I remember when I first started tattooing, Guy Aitchison brought out reinventing the tattoo, and he said in that, don't mix inks. Don't mix, because it's different ingredients. Now I'm hearing this. Colours. So say you got pink from Fusion and red from Eternal. A lighter tone or exactly. You might cause some kind of reaction and put that in someone's skin. I never thought about it because I only really use one brand. But now he said that, and then this video's come out. I'm a bit like, bro.
He also said, was it Talons? Not Talons. It was a drawing ink.
I know what you're talking about.
Pelicans. Yeah. He also said
Indian ink.
Imagine just not long ago that was like brand, like that's you're not supposed to. Yeah. Alex used
recently,
was I think
Don Wills, he did say
What with the orange with that orange coloured label.
I can't.
You got one, innit?
Pelicans. There's nothing wrong with Pelicans, though.
No, but
what I mean. But I think they just tried to say don't use it because they didn't want anyone to use it.
They can't really say that because tattooing mainstream is such a young. It's so young that they can't. Now we're gonna start seeing them saying, okay, we need to regulate this because it's. I remember when glow in the dark inks first came out, I refused to use it because I don't know what's in that.
I haven't.
It is personally, but because we're dealing with blood and you only know what effect it has after another generation. You know what I mean? It's like.
And it's all passed up. Bro, like, this is what he did.
Oh my god! No, it was the ink. It was the ink.
Literally the light pink. That I had a.
No, we found out that the light ink.
That was only literally where the light pink was. That had all passed up and just fell out. That's what it did.
I've had that a few times, especially with lighter colours like yellow.
Yellow.
But they say red is like
one of the most toxic. Yeah, it's got a toxic ingredient in it. But it's all tried and tested. I remember when I first started tattooing, I watched Call Outside the Line, and then Tuki Carter was trying bare different ink, and he was saying, he fucked up a couple of tattoos and stuff. And I've had to go through the same thing. That's how you learn. But unfortunately, you have to learn on somebody.
But you know what though? I was talking to someone the other day, and they were saying about the healing of tattoos, and I said, listen, once the person leaves your shop, it's out of your hands because you don't know what they're doing. They might go home to a bed that they've been getting dust out on for the last 3 days, by 3 different partners. Their dog sleeping on their bed, bare cat hair. You don't know what they're sleeping on. Like there might be people that don't change their bed sheets. They might not wash. Like you don't know what people's behaviour is, and then they'll come and say it's your fault.
A girl posted a video. She had just gotten a fresh tattoo, and she posted a video right next to her dog. And the dog's like, snuggling up to it. Yeah, it's like, okay then.
I tattooed the girl's leg, and then because I was apprentice at the studio in North London, and
what studio, sorry?
It was I Hate Tattoos with Steve Aaron.
Oh, okay.
And I mean now, well, if this goes up on social media, this girl's probably. But anyway, so I did the tattoo on her leg. And then a week later, she's like, "Oh, my tattoo's infected." Blah blah blah. And she called up and everything. And Steve, was like, "Check her social media." He checked the social media. She was like there with the dog. She was on holiday. All these things which she said don't do. You know what I mean? And then they come back to you like they need a reason to. It's
your fault.
Because they don't want to accept responsibility for their thing.
I remember I specifically told one client once, don't use pseudo-cream on your tattoo.
Oh my days.
Pseudo-cream dries out your tattoo and it just creates this gunk on top of it. And he's gone off and slathered this portrait. This portrait with pseudo-cream. Wow. I remember telling him that evening. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dry face is not even the word. Dehydrated, all sorts of dryness. And it looked terrible. And I was disheartened by it. I was disheartened because I love seeing my work come back healed good and stuff. It makes me want to do more of it. It makes me want to push on and actually say, okay, I want to do a better one. But if it comes back looking all like dusty and not well looked after, it disheartens the artist, and then you start to question, what did I do wrong? Not knowing it really is the tattoos. So out of let's say you do 100 tattoos a year, out of that 100, you get 2 that come back and say to you, you fucked up my tattoo. So we are human. We're subjected to make mistakes. Where have I gone wrong? I've followed every single, I don't know if you have a formula when you tattoo, I've followed every single formula, but yours somehow fucked up. Like, I'm human, I know that, but something ain't right. So when
sometimes it's the customer as well, because some people's diet is fucked up.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely,
they'll be
definitely.
eating. I'm not castrating anyone that eats pig, but they'll be eating all kinds of saturated fats.
That's not
and-
good for your
Yeah,
skin.
it's just mashing up their skin, and they come to you, and like skin heals by stretching them and breaking and rehealing. So if their skin healing pattern is dead, and then you're tattooing it, sometimes you're tattooing it and you're like,
This ain't gonna heal,
You can
yeah?
see the
It's already
skin
breaking
like
as
this ain't
the
working.
needle touched it, yeah.
Like it's just dry, coarse. It's looking like desert floor,
And you have to, oh my God.
and you got to work
see
on
the
it.
cracks.
You can see the cracks, man. Especially when it's like on like the leg, the calf area, and you're like, nah, man.
coming
But
up to the foot.
Oh my God, it's flashbacks. Yeah, flashbacks. Remind.
Everyone's application is different. So in the end of the day, when someone comes to you, they should trust you in saying, you know, this is what you do. No, but the other guy told me to do this. No, but this is what you do.
Yeah, so I'm asking
Because
you
the way I've done it, you know, I've used these needles, I've done this, I've done it in my way. Because I'm not going to tattoo like Rob. You know, I'm not going to tattoo like any of you. You know what I mean?
What you've just said, not to divert from the topic, like every artist has a different application style to a tattoo, which sort of brings me to like this subject of, should you tattoo everyone's skin the same? Like, meaning, should you tattoo white skin the same way you tattoo black skin? And if your application style doesn't match how you tattoo white skin or black skin, does that mean you're biased against tattooing that person's skin, or is it just your tattoo application
I
style?
think it's the tattoo application style. We can't be so upset. Like if you want someone, if I come to you and I want like and I'm dark, and I want, you know, a portrait, you know,
Fine
detail and that,
soft, yeah.
and then it doesn't come out like it comes out on the white skin, and I say, oh, it's because he didn't pay attention to. It's because maybe you're not used to it, you know what I mean? But there are people who make certain choices, which clearly like, oh, I don't want to tattoo him because he's too dark or whatever, you know.
I'm glad you said it that way, because
but,
it has been misconstrued a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end of the day, like, it's the artist's choice, you know. It's the artist's choice. You can't give it. You give the canvas, and then if you're not going to be happy with the results, you know, then
Why do you
Why
want
do
Why
it?
did you make that choice?
Why do it?
Yeah. And then plus you're giving the client as well like the advice, like you want your tattoo to look the best, so I'm gonna tell you what's gonna make it look the best. If you don't want to listen to that, like I've been guilty of that, like I know for a fact that's not gonna work, but if you're adamant on it, who am I to tell you can't have that? You come to me, it's my job, I'm gonna do it, you give me the money, boom. But I'll tell you beforehand
If you're an artist of
that
integrity,
this
you
is
will.
what's gonna look better.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tattooed people's portraits upside down in a sense, you know what I mean? But that's what they want. So who am I to tell you you can't have a portrait?
Absolutely.
Upside
Absolutely.
down.
But I think at the same time, it's your responsibility to kind of say, well, we should, even when you're doing it, kind of just ease off some of the detail a little bit.
if you want to, if you
Yeah,
if you want to find a way to do it, like as an artist, if you want to personally find a way to do it, it's up to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I
As
agree.
simple as that, you know what I mean? But you can't kind of shout at people and say, oh, he's racist because he's doing it because like,
It takes a long time to develop a skill to be able to work a certain way. And I find, thank goodness, I've had the opportunity to work on so many different types of skin. I found I can't easily jump from one style of tattooing to another style of tattooing. I sort of have to retrain my brain. Okay, I used to work with a mag before, now I work with a liner. So when I want to jump back into a mag, it's not so easy.
You have to retrain it.
The memory is there, but it's not so easy to jump straight to it. From, say, if I did a stippling style tattoo today, tomorrow my client comes tomorrow and I need to do like a smooth shading with mag, I can't do that because my brain is still on stippling the day before. Even though I've gone home rested and stuff, when I get back, I find my hand still does the motion of stippling. So it takes, you sort of have to get yourself, you have to be dedicated to that style. If you really love your style and stuff, you have to be dedicated to it. So it's not fair to say, like you said, it's not fair to say an artist has to learn how to work on this style of skin or that style of skin or this
Absolutely.
or this way or that way, because at the end of the day, your style is your style.
That's it.
And you don't go to Prada or you don't go to Fendi or you don't go to Gucci to say
Why do
this
you
this
make me night traders?
literally that. That's
Yeah.
exactly the, that's exactly it.
You trying to learn how to tattoo?
But you know what? Though? Going forward from that though, we had like a conversation. I think it was me, Salim, and Ophelia, and I was saying like, there's enough of us. Like this, I've wanted to do a sit down or anything with you guys together for the longest while. You guys both know. You know what I mean? Like we was meant to do the whole exhibition before lockdown kicked in, and I think like we need to do more stuff like this. We need to build our own conventions. We need to have our own.
Shows that where to go in.
Yeah,
This guy
because all this,
now to tackle your skin.
all this inclusion business, I feel like all the work that we've put in, it's just gonna get dashed and bin. Because what will happen is someone will come in and then write themselves into our story like they were there in the beginning.
Yeah.
What's his name is a perfect example of this. It's not Alexandra McQueen. Damien Hirst. Damien Hirst. He made the skull. It takes a lot to
diamond
get
across the skull.
Yes, it takes a lot for me to give a reaction. But he's taken a mask from my culture, and he's literally branded it as his. He didn't say, okay, he's got inspiration from this. He's basically said, this is my piece of work. This is my artwork.
I never knew that too.
And literally, that hurt me so much. I actually had to respond on his page. And I'm never the person. It's like, why are you? So if we now start including, and they take that away, the likely chances of them being the creators of that style, the creators of what we've been working on for years, the likely chances of them getting the credit for it is very high.
Very high.
It's very high.
That's history in the end of the day. Like, that's the way things have panned out to be.
And we have the chance to break this.
That's what I'm saying. We now in the position that we're in, we're the ones that need to break the cycle because it's like, go on.
No, it's like even sorry to cut you, but as you were saying, certain artists, certain tattoo shops. I ain't even gonna mention my names, but since the whole even last year at BLM, I see how they strategically put certain black posts in it, and I'm like, yo,
yeah. There's a rule. We'll discuss it off air because enough man will watch this and get offended. But there's a rule in certain tattoo shops. I told you about the rule, innit? The one rule. I'll tell you about it afterwards. But there's the one rule that goes around in a lot of shops that aren't black, and I think a lot of people don't notice it. And it's unless we start building our own industry. So when those people get kicked out of them studios, they got somewhere to go to. Because there's bare artists that are out here trying to do this whole inclusion thing. And they're gonna get fired. They're gonna get bun up. We know that. We know that already. Yeah. But when they get bun up, it's like, what do they do? Leave the game? Because they've already shunned us. So we need to kind of change our way and make it so that if they go there and they do their foolish, they want to go and work with whoever they want to work with. They need to know that they can come back and work with us. They can come home at any time.
Yeah, we're not trying to move that.
Yeah.
That little ass.
Yeah, there's no BIPOC.
It makes me shudder even thinking
there's
about it.
There's no BIPOC, there's no BAME, it's just like we're black.
We're black, yeah.
Even that BAME thing is just...
I've always said my first ever convention, I was the only black guy there at Alexandra Palace. And I've always said, I remember someone saying, oh, his work is too dark. That stuck to me. It's something that would always stick to me. And it almost made me be like, okay, I want to start working like them now. But only 3 years, I shit you not, 3 years later, that style that I was cussed for doing is now in. It's what they do, heavy saturation, this, that, whatnot. And that broke me down so much that it's in my psyche. I still think about it till today. Like, I'll always remember that moment because I didn't even see the person's face, but I heard it from the back of me. Yeah, I was like, and the people next to me, they weren't even trying to, like, I'm not to say I want to be included in your thing. I'm my own man. I'm on my own journey. I don't want to be on your, I don't know where you're going. I know where I'm going, I don't know where you're going. So I'm not trying to be on your, I've never been the person to try and jump on somebody else's finger because I'm on my own journey as it is, and I don't want, if I try to jump on your journey, I don't want to be a burden to you. I don't want to sway you from what you're doing in life and stuff. So it is, you're right, we need to create a space for our people to actually know that we don't need to be a part of them to be accepted.
Exactly.
We are, like I said, my friend said I was doing a white man's job, so I'm not trying to be a white man, I'm a black man. Why can't I tattoo? Why can't you skate? Why can't we do things that human beings do and not be
labeled?
Not be labeled.
Yeah.
Literally that. And that whole label thing is just something that needs to be, it's not gonna happen for a while, but it needs to be broken down. It needs to be, everyone wants to fit into something like that.
I think a lot of the time, like with everything, not just with tattooing, it's just fear of a change, you know?
Fear of a change is very real.
People fear what they're. I mean, it's a natural thing to fear what you don't understand, you know? If I walk out and there's Godzilla on the street, I'm not gonna go and say hi.
But they say that's how human beings survive to where they are today, by not venturing into the unknown. But that's a big lie, because how would you know? How did explorers make it to wherever it is and stuff?
A few people do.
And we are those few people.
We are the
want the world to be like, you know, if you don't venture out, it's just going to be the same.
Yeah,
it gets boring, you know what I mean? It's just repetition, really.
Exactly.
But I mean, in terms of this inclusion thing, I think it's very, like you said, it's quite dangerous, you know, because you might just be including people who are not there, they just jumped on it just to be, you know,
just to be seen.
Because of social media and the way stuff is, you know, it's do this because I'm black or do this.
Yeah.
No, people don't need handouts, you know. I mean, I feel bad saying that to some extent, you know. I mean, people don't need handouts. People don't need to be pushed.
When you say handouts, what do you mean?
Like, I mean,
Obviously we're not
you
handouts,
shouldn't
so.
feel like you have to be included somewhere. You just do your own thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want someone to come to me and get a tattoo because I'm black because of all this stuff which happened last year.
Let's
You
not.
know?
Yeah, that subject.
I don't want I don't want to, you know, feel like, it's basically charity. You know what I mean?
That way after I did a certain interview, and I did say in that interview, I don't want to be the guy to carry the weight of all my race. Like, I'm just one man on his journey. Just because I happen to be that race doesn't mean I speak for everyone. Like, I couldn't care less what he's doing just because he's my race. I couldn't care less what he's doing just because he's not my race. I care about what I'm doing, and what I'm doing is what's going to get me to where I want to be in life.
Exactly.
I got a race to run, bro. Fuck a black or white race.
I got a race. Full stop. I got a race. Yeah,
but the problem is people want someone to represent like everyone else. You know what I mean? Which is a very hard thing.
You don't even know what that person's values and morals is as a person.
As a person, that's exactly it, and that's why some people are so quick to follow the wrong mentality, the wrong people. People are so quick to follow someone because they have a huge following, because they have something valid to say, and valid meaning something that they can relate to. Sometimes those people are toxic. Sometimes the things that those people are saying are very toxic, and we don't know it because it resonates with us. We tend to like, okay, he's making sense. He's making sense.
Try to make it make sense, even if it might.
Even if it's not sensible.
And confusion is definitely the name of the game. In everything.
That's what's happening now.
Yeah. Everything's divide and separate. So it's like, are you this or are you this? Are you that or are you this? Are you
black? Are you
Are you here or are you there?
There's no one who's come in this shop who are treated differently.
No.
I mean, I get people who are completely opposite of me.
Change the music.
And you don't.
Yeah, King song, innit?
And he was tattooing a white girl.
Yeah.
We would just look at each other like.
And you know, Kingsley repeating the song, wearing like 10 times. Like, girl.
Wasn't her mum there as well? Well, I don't.
But at the same time, no one's gonna change their things if you go into their.
You walked into my space.
Yeah, you came into my house,
Yeah.
so why
You
should
walked
I
into my
change
space.
for you?
Absolutely.
So literally, we looked at each other
Yeah,
because
we
it was
both
such a.
And like, we didn't want to skip it because he was like, if you skip it,
It's
more
obvious.
bait.
But listen, there's a painting above my desk here, and I leave it there. I'm gonna take it down because I've just had enough of explaining it. But there's been a painting that's been up there for what, 3 years? Oh my God, people will be comfortable, and they turn around and they go, what's that?
No, normally they see it and then after they look at it again and then they're like, oh, what's that? You know
Which
what I
one is
mean?
it? Is it one that he said, don't touch my hair or something?
No, that one there. That one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The one with the boy on the
Yeah. And they see it and they're like, oh. And then when it's a white person, they look at it, and obviously when you're part of something, whatever it is, black, white, Indian, gay, Chinese, whatever, yeah, you look, if someone says something and it is deemed as offensive, you're gonna prick up, you know. And they look at it, and the first thing they see, so they see the white man and they go, what? Ain't that a bit racist? They want to explain the whole thing to them, like, I didn't even know the world worked that way. I'm like, blood, where you been? But then it makes sense to me, like, with the whole George Floyd thing, it's like, how did you not know? How is it possible that you don't know?
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss, man. Ignorance really is blissful for some people.
Trust me, and everyone's priorities are different, bro.
It is
Everyone,
very different.
What they deem important is thing. Like I always say this, like I've said to someone before. I remember watching this little documentary about showing the poorest towns in England, and Dover was one of them. And they was going around the high street asking all these people who live there what they think. They're like shithole. And like they all had different reasons for why they believed it was shithole. Obviously, you had the couple old white men who was like, oh, it's the foreigners and that. That's a given what they're gonna say. But what I found fascinating was this old white woman. She had said that ever since the Marks and Spencers closed down, it all went downhill. But you see what her priority is. But you see what her priority is.
It's not just any food.
It's Marks and Spencer. Since they closed it down, it's now gone to shit, innit? Like, that's her point of view. That's not something.
That's why I was saying earlier on. Like, once people figure out what's really important to them, and you understand like this is how life really is. You're able to navigate like easier. It's just we're not expecting someone to be a certain way. Once you expect someone is a certain way, because that's why people get offended by people as well. People are easily offended because they don't understand that person.
Yeah.
Once you understand someone is a certain way, you know how to maneuver around that person.
Exactly.
You know how to. You can still be yourself, but you know how to treat that person.
Yeah.
And that person knows how to accept you for who you are at the same time. Life will be so much easier, but unfortunately, we live in a world where everybody wants to be something. So you have to be a certain way to be. You have to be a certain way to get along with this person, or you have to be. No one wants to accept people for who they are anymore. You have to
Everyone's right as well.
That's just what it is. My point of view is more valid than your point of view. I watched. I'm not forgotten what documentary it is. We have like human beings have a complex of wanting to belong to a certain like group. It's like a herd mentality type of thing. Like human beings wanna go with like-minded people. Like you find yourself gravitating towards people who do the same thing as you more, and we're not willing to sort of explore somebody else's point of view because we're so stuck into how I feel. I went through a point in my life where I watched a lot of documentary on Islam, Buddhism, Jainism, like all sorts of like faiths. Trying to find something. I was born Christian. I was raised in a Christian house. I was a choir boy. And then it became a point in my life where I used to be a piano. It's like I was on the piano, I was on the drums. Yeah.
I was John Legend in that.
I couldn't even begin to tell you. But yeah, it just became a point in my life where I was like, I'm not understanding. Like my own Christian people will come and tell me, yo, why have you marked your body, this, that, what, not. Like you're meant to, I'm Christian, you're meant to understand me. But I'm starting to find out my own people don't even understand me. So I started looking at everybody else's race, starting to like see, okay, this is what life really is about. And then I stopped caring less about what my own people thought of me, because I realized my own people don't really know who I am. So how could you really care for where I'm going if you don't know who I am, or if you don't know what I want? So when we start realizing, okay, this person is this person, I've known you for about 6, maybe even longer years now.
Since 2000, like 13, 14.
Something so, yeah. And I if I didn't know who you were, when we meet, 9 out of 10 times we will probably clash. But because I understand who you are and we were able to like be friends and get along. I've not met you for so long, but I understand we're in the same community, we're in the same environment, so we're able to get along. We might have difference in opinions, but we're not fighting each other, we're not thinking, we understand each other, we understand we all have a common goal and stuff, so it's easy for us to move along, we're able to navigate life a lot more easier. When people start to understand that, it's like, and people need to understand you can't drill your own.
Yeah, because that's the thing. When there's that threat of someone, forcing some change amongst on everyone changes are different. The older you get, the more you realize that I'm not the same as I was when I was 4 years old. I'm not the same as I was, and then you realize that you can make mistakes. 100%. And the whole thing is that people think that they cannot make mistakes. Yeah. Because the shame thing is really bad. The embarrassment and the shame.
I think that's a younger thing. Because I remember when I was younger,
but some people don't grow up with that.
But I used to be so concerned about certain things. I remember I lost a fight once, and I was thinking like, and this sounds stupid. I wanted to be a rapper. And I was thinking, I can't talk against this shit. I got punched. I came out worse for wear, bro. You know what I mean? But like now, I don't even. You know what I mean? That's just. I think when you're younger, but I feel some people don't grow out of that, and I think. Even now with social media and stuff, it doesn't help, man.
But I mean, in a year from now, if you haven't changed your views or anything,
if you haven't grown,
you haven't grown. You know what I mean? And it's just, people don't want to grow because it's easier just to
stay the same. Yeah. That's what I said to my son. My son's birthday, he turned 13 the other day, and I made sure I told him. I know, right? Yeah. 5 more years and he's 18. I made sure I told him, you're 13 now. You're gonna make mistakes. I remember when I was 13, when I was in my teenage years, I made so much mistakes. I was hard on myself because I'm like, why am I messing up? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? I didn't understand I was going through growth. It's growth. Every growth is change. You never know what's around the corner. You never know. So you're never prepared for what's around the corner. So you're going to stumble all the time. So
but do you know what though? Like, we always talk about the language and how fucked up the language is. And we always say like, let's act like adults. And I was thinking like, on the whole Hollywood thing, we say let's act like adults, and then we say mistakes. And before you go into acting, the first thing they say is take. So if you break up the word mistakes, it's literally like, oh, you're gonna get another shot. You could just try again.
I mean, the whole thing is like the way I view it is, you know, life is just about making mistakes, you know what I mean? And it's about correcting those mistakes. You know, it's correcting those mistakes. I tell my daughter as well, I don't care, because like she I got it wrong. I'm like, listen, I don't care if you got it wrong, yeah? As long as you get closer to getting it right.
Exactly.
If you make the same mistake 100 times, I'm going to be like, you know, come on, you're behaving there might be something wrong, you know what I mean? But you know, I don't care if she makes, even if it's slightly different, you know, it doesn't really, it's not a mistake, it's just closer to your end goal, you know.
We're artists as well. There's no such thing as mistakes.
And often mistakes are the things which make, you know, like you fuck up and then you're like, oh. I mean, I'm not talking about tattoo fuck up. I'm talking about, you know, like drawing or something, and then it takes you somewhere else.
To a whole new.
You
My
know?
whole style.
And then you're like,
my whole style is built on mistakes. My
and
whole
there's
style
a
is
lot of
built
stuff
on
which you
mistakes.
start painting, and then afterwards you're like, oh, I fucked up. You come back like a week later and you're like, oh, what was I thinking when I did that? You know what I mean? So that can't happen without mistakes, you know.
Exactly.
But I mean, you know, there's that thing of shame, which no one wants to feel shame, because people ridicule other people, not knowing that everyone's going through the same shit, just on a different level, you know.
Right. Well, I got this new thing here that I'm trying, where I've been getting people to send me some questions on Instagram, so I can ask you guys. But you was talking earlier about you from a Christian community, and I'm kind of from a Christian community, but my family is more just act like they're Christians. They're not. And
That's what Christians do, bro. You're a real Christian.
And how did you guys family take it when you said you're going into tattooing?
It's making money, and they're happy as long as I'm making money. My stepdad's a priest. He owns a congregation in Ireland and stuff, and he's also a man as well. So I think he's come to a point where he understands that my path is my path. He can't really pull me into that.
Yeah.
My mom's like, ayo, okay, you're making money. Okay, just make sure you're doing okay. Pray, just pray. That's about it.
Yeah.
And anything else, my uncles, everyone's proud that I'm doing something. But the real hardcore Christians, you're doing the work of the devil.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're marking the skin. I'm like, the Bible is, the Old Testament came over, and some of the stuff in the New Testament said, don't mind what the Old Testament was saying. Things changed.
That's a subject that can keep us
Readjusted some things. I mean, we know we said that in the Old Testament, but the New Testament is. But now the 2020 Testament, bro, is Christianity is a lot of contradiction. Religion in itself is a lot of contradiction. As long as you have faith, I think you're okay. People just want something to hang on to and say, yeah, I believe in this, I believe in that. I'm a Christian by faith. I am not a Christian by practice. Yeah. I don't pray. I probably should pray, but I do talk. I meditate.
You talk to yourself.
I talk to myself. Yeah. I'm sometimes ashamed to say this, but God is in me. Like,
God is you are God.
I am God. Yeah, I am God. So like I create shit. God made me create shit. So I think it's so. Sometimes it's like the ego in me tells me, oh, I'm good. I'm good. As long as I meditate and I make sure I do good and I abide by certain morals, I feel like I'm cool. I don't need to be doing the whole go church every Sunday. Yeah. Church is a whole.
That's what they do the most.
Oh my God, that's toxic.
Churches don't pay tax, man. They do the most.
Church on Sunday, that's a sin. Saturday.
What? Church is the Sabbath.
Different denomination.
Bro, I am telling you, it's coming from a Christian house. I'm like, wow. Like I used to fear certain things when I was in Nigeria. I was like, I went to church and I pulled my sleeve up and I was greeting the aunties and stuff, and I was like, yeah, auntie, you have to frustrate all of that stuff, and I was hiding stuff because I was ashamed. There was an element of shame there. I was like, oh, I've sinned, this, that, one, but that's the old Christian in me. When I came out of it, I was laughing at myself. Well, you're so silly. Like, you're a grown man. I know myself. I know who I am. So I don't need to worry about all that. So as far as like how it feels coming from a Christian family and stuff, I'm a Christian by faith, but not by practice. I believe in myself, I believe in creating your own faith, your own path, and you are your own.
It's like a base for you to build yourself on top of. Cause
I do think religion's important though, you know. I mean, but you know, when it starts to be a forceful thing on other people, and when you, because my mum's Christian, you know, and but what she said to me in terms of religion is that my mum's Seventh-day Adventist. I'll put it there, which is even deeper. Yeah. But she did say to me that, you know, it's the only way she knows how to do things, and it's helped her. If it helps me, she'll always tell me what has helped her. You know what I mean? She can't tell me she can't tell me anything else, because that's what she knows, you know, and that's the information she knows. And I think that's the right way of doing it, you know. But if it doesn't help you, or if it's pushing you closer to be a worse person, just because you're in that situation and you can't find yourself in that place, then you might not need it, or you might need to look somewhere else for it, you know.
I guess that's probably why I started looking at different faiths, trying to see, and then came to a conclusion that, you know what, I'm on my own. I'm doing myself. I'm gonna do me. I remember, don't smoke, don't drink, bro. But a fat spliff, meditate. I feel great after. Daily. I feel great right after, and do some art, create the best things I can create. And they used to tell me, don't do this, don't do that, it's bad for you.
Sometimes I feel like they tell you that because they know the potential for it.
It is. That's why sometimes I do say religion is a form of control in a way. Maybe not. I don't know if religion is the right word, but
I think it's the right word. Yeah. Do you know what? The way I see religion, and then before we go forward, because we're slowly running out of time, but the way I see religion is like the spirit house is the body. So religion is kind of like a house for your spirit. But if someone locks a door on you, or if you get in there and you stay in your house for too long, what happens? You start getting anxious. You can't come out of that mindset. So you walk around like, oh, you're doing bad, or you're doing this, or because you're locked in your own religion. You're locked in. You get me? And it's only until someone either does something which basically gets you out of that mindset that there's a bigger world out there, and there's more things to make you broaden your horizon. Nothing ain't gonna change. So enough people are locked up in the house, man. Lockdown for real. So mental lockdown, man. Mental lockdown. But we're gonna do these questions, yeah. And I did one. I did a mini chats the other day with my brother from Oxford, and we did this, and it was actually quite fun. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 questions here, random. Some are anonymous, some are Sims. I'm gonna put the spin on now. Wheel of fortune, my guys. Oh man.
Same questions last time.
No, it's a different question. Alright, this one's from Simmy Sims from Instagram. Big up Simmy Sims. What is the most bizarre tattoo request you've had?
Bizarre?
I know you got a few, Sammy.
I
definitely know you got a few, Wale.
I got a few. I had one guy randomly just come into the shop and he wanted a panther on his forehead coming out of like his hairline. So I had to create. I made it look dope. I mean, there's.
You did it?
Yeah, I did it. I did
You
that
posted
shit.
it.
I didn't post that. Fuck that. I did it. I liked it, but I didn't post it. So I did it like a traditional style with just the head poking out. Put a slit to make it look like it's coming out of his head. But yeah, it was strange. He did it later. Came back and got Batman on his cheek.
Raw, he's serious.
Yeah, he got a Batman logo on his cheek later. At a convention, I did Jesus Loves You, but I Think You're a Prick in script.
Raw. Go on, boy.
I don't know, man.
You got too many to think of.
I don't know where to start now. But I can't mentally think of one now.
Yeah, my brain's got dead. I'm trying to think. What's up? Do you know what? I had
You
one.
always send like things to me, which I'm like, my yeah, this guy was a tattoo. Yeah. Then I'm like, then I come in and he's like, yeah, and Rob's there like he never spoke to the person.
Oh my god!
But it's cool. I mean, in the end of the day, it's just. In the end of the day, it's just experience, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, you know. You can learn. I think with everything, no matter how weird or strange it is, you can learn one thing from it to put to your what you're gonna do. So I mean, even with script, especially, you know, like people are like, oh, I don't want to do that right, and I don't want to. you're gonna learn something from it, you know. You know, there's a lot of the time where you're like, oh, I can use a different needle than I normally use. I can learn how to do this and push it into my other work.
Exactly.
You know, so the little stuff, and sometimes the most bizarre stuff in the strangest places is actually the stuff which makes other stuff easier.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, because it pushes you out of your comfort zone, doesn't it? That's where the most growth is happening. Like you said, when you was at the convention, they said you tattooed too dark. You left your comfort zone. That shit shriveled up, man. And now
I was
you're
like, nah.
You can tattoo on both sides. So
Yeah, nah, I had to just because I mean, the first I remember I did a panther on a guy. It was the first big tattoo I ever did. I've been tattooing like 2-3 months. I got thrown in a deep end by the studio, and then it was literally like a massive panther on this guy's thigh hair, old school traditional. I had to shave his leg. All of that was all new to me. I'd never had to do all of this, and I had my teacher looking over me and stuff. No, he was on holiday. That's why I had to do it. So I had a shop owner looking over me. So that was stressful enough as it is, because I'm thinking, I'm now the head tattooist because the head tattooist is gone. He's not about, so I have to bang out this work. So I've had him there. So never done a panther before, never done bold lines before. I was like, fuck it, I did. So I sat him down, never tattooed the inner thigh before. That's a different, oh my God. The stretching, the first few strokes, I'm like, oh, it's not going in. I was using coil as well, no rotary machine, so the lines ain't going in straight away, so it's bouncing back out. So I'm like sweating. I'm like, I wasn't stretching as well, because you know you got to stretch. My first few, so many things could have gone wrong, but something that would probably take me like 2 hours, 3 hours now, probably took me a full day session.
Oh
a bit.
my days! The speed you tattoo at when you first start, it's your stretching game, you know.
It's
That's
just
all it is.
stretching, literally.
Because
That.
stretching is a whole other skill. Like you can tattoo, and then you have to be able to stretch.
Yes,
so, like,
yes.
We need professional stretchers in the game. We need
Definitely.
someone to come in.
If your hands ain't stiff at the end of the session, you ain't done a good job. You ain't gonna do job because that's what it is. So you've got to either pull back with your fist or palm, or if your hands ain't fucked up, you ain't a tattooist. Stand on that motherfucker.
Once you got a tattoo like funny places, and you're like stretching people out like.
If you got too much Vaseline, that shit.
Slip and slide.
Or wiping ink on your face and shit.
No, I'm done.
Oh my God. Nah, stretching is game.
So, alright. One last question, we'll do one last question. Oh my God. We're going back to what we was originally talking about. This one's from, I'm hoping I'm going to say the name right. Nene Sticks from Instagram. Can white people tattoo black skin?
Yeah. They can.
Yeah, of course.
What do you mean? They can't?
No. I think the question's a bit deeper than that. I think it's more, either do white people care or do they have the ability?
I think
And they do have the ability.
I mean, I think yeah. The whole thing is a lot of people just don't understand it or haven't tried it. So I mean, if you want to learn to do it, you can do it.
Yeah, it's a contact thing as well, because when you think about it, black people only make up something like 6% of the population in the country, or something like that. If you live in a little town, it's just some random name like Long Bottoms, Aylesbury, or some shit like that. Yeah, you're not gonna see no one. You might not ever see a black person your whole life.
Yeah, so that's like asking if someone can do surgery if they haven't had surgery done on them.
Well,
you know, it's the same thing. Like, I mean, you have to know your trade. Like, if you want to,
you have to know your trade.
You can't really just.
But like we were saying, there's certain things you can't do because there's been mistakes. We know there's been mistakes. That's why we're here, because we all got into the game because we saw the shit that was going out before we was in this country anyway. The shit that was going out before we got in, and we all looked and said, nah, we can do better than that. So there's been mistakes where people have been like, you go to the old school tattoo shops where you go in, you pick something off the wall, and it's built for a white person, and they just put it on you. They say, "Oh, you're a bit dark. I'm gonna go a bit harder, yeah."
For some reason, I got buried in skin. It shows up on the top.
People come to the shop with like shovel marks and shit. You know, like
dug out
what? happened to you, man?
Keloided tattoos and all of that, all sorts. Well, I mean, like we said before, it is all about educating yourself and knowing that you can actually do it. You don't want to limit yourself, but also it is having the time to actually dedicate to learning the techniques that's required to actually do it and implement it.
When I first started tattooing, I tattooed my majority, even to this day, is black clients. There was a point I was learning how to tattoo white skin.
Bro, you and I both.
I could have tattooed on white skin. I was learning.
I used to get nervous.
It's scary.
Like beforehand, I was like,
reverse
oh,
freeze.
right, like I
It's
actually
scary.
don't really tattoo white.
Tear up the skin real quick.
Yeah.
Like
It is like when
That
you
went
tattoo
dark
someone-
real quick.
when you tattoo
0 to
someone
Insta black real quick.
And then you see the
Yeah, when you put the needle in it, everything spreads, but it kind of sucks itself back in.
Nah, it is the trauma to the skin as well. The trauma to the skin is a bit more apparent, and that sort of scares you as well.
Like the redness and that.
The redness,
as well.
and
Like,
it is. I had to tell myself, well, that's natural. Like that's natural. The skin will get red when it's traumatized.
That's it.
Because you can't see no redness on our skin tone.
yeah, but
So
you
we're
see,
just
that
having-
it raises like
You
a
see
lot
the
more.
you see the
And,
pores enlarge and stuff.
But I think as well the thing about tattooing dark skin is it takes longer. You know, I mean, so I think a lot of people just don't want to do it because it takes longer.
You have to build those
It's
tones,
basically like someone comes in, I can do this tattoo, but it's gonna take like double the time because I'm dealing with dark skin and I need to I can't see from
even that, I think that's a bit of misconception. I feel it's more. It just takes a while.
to build up.
build
It's
the
like when
layers,
you know with colour tattoo, you have to
Yeah.
wait for it to settle before it rises up. Because there've been times like I've worked on like dark skin. I thought, yo, this is just not going in. And then when like I'm working along, come back to that, I'm like, yo, that's in there, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's because it's just got time to rise. So it's paid. You gotta understand that. Like,
Yeah, but at the same time you can have white skin which the ink just doesn't go in at all.
Yeah.
no, for sure.
Yeah, skin. I mean, I think you need to sort of study skin.
Skin,
I've
yeah,
actually
skin.
studied
Yeah,
skin
yeah,
a bit
yeah.
just so I can understand different types of skin and different ways of applying it. Sometimes the way you actually go in with the needle as well accounts for it. It is about being able to adjust to the skin type, not just black skin. Because I've tattooed black people who the ink didn't go in straight away. I've tattooed white people who the ink didn't go in straight away. So it is literally the first few strokes on the needle. You can sort of
tell
judge
what kind of
what
skin
way
you're
you've
gonna
got to sort of work with them. So it's on the artist, black or white, to understand.
To
how-
educate them.
to educate yourself and actually.
absolutely.
Because you can't really approach everyone.
You can't approach anyone
the same.
The same,
Every
no.
tattoo is a new tattoo.
Listen, even when you tattoo the same person,
Yeah,
you don't know
yeah.
what you're gonna get the next time. I have people with like buttery smooth skin. You're like, oh,
But you go down to the
you want to
foot
come back
side.
for another session?
Yeah.
This is gonna be easy.
I
And
love
then-
your skin. Let's do this.
And then you tattoo somewhere else in the body, and you're like, fuck. This part don't see the light of day, man. So, but yeah, we're gonna wrap it up there, guys. Give thanks for joining me. Listen, this is great, man. This is very important to me because I've wanted to do something like this for a long time to show a lot of the youngers that are coming into the game now. Like, you don't have to do a beef thing. Like, a lot of these guys coming in and they want to do this solo thing, and I'm doing it by my. No, we need to get together. We need to build the industry. We need to do everything. We need machine builders. We need everything, like conventions.
Oh, yeah.
Everything,
Convention
man.
is that's a definite on my that's a definite on my thing because I wanted to go back. If Corona didn't happen last year, my thing was to tour Africa and actually tattoo the whole of Africa. To try and visit as much countries as possible and then actually hold a convention in Nigeria. So within the next 5 years, that's gonna happen. It's a definite. So you all need to get your tickets together.
You need to give me
passports.
I need a booth, bro.
You need a booth? Don't worry, not to worry, bro. I got you guys. We're tattooing. We're taking it.
Half price.
Half price. Full price. But yeah, in the next 5 years, we need to take it home. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to stop the whole inclusion thing. We don't need to be a part.
We don't need to be part
to
of that.
be. We don't need to be a part to be. We are already.
Exactly.
We're more than enough.
Yeah.
There's enough of us around to actually be able to say, yeah, we have a community of black artists.
look how
We
many
don't need to
artists
go
are
there
in
and
this
feel
room.
bad, bro. Like. When I first
Penicillin,
started, bro,
AJ,
it's crazy. It's
there's
crazy.
bare people.
It's crazy.
There's bare people that's just
It's
not
crazy.
in this film. So it's like,
It's crazy, but we do have it. We need to stop trying to seeking approval from them as well. We don't need their approval.
we don't
to
need
say,
their approval because we've been doing our own thing for so long.
bro. Like you said, we need builders. We need like needle. We need. I haven't seen like a actual black needle manufacturer. I met Emilio Irons.
That's what I was gonna say.
He was the first black machine builder that I met.
From Holland.
Yeah. He was dope.
He's safe as well.
Shout out to him. Yeah.
He's
Shout out
safe
to
as
him.
well.
Yeah. I haven't seen a black needle company. So I mean, I'm not really I'm an artist. I like just to create. I don't really want to deal with all of that stuff. That thing. Yeah. I remember we were talking about making my own condoms and Sammy Skins.
Right.
That's about it. That's the only product I think I'll be making. Sammy Skins. That's the only product I'm making. But yeah, we need our people to actually be happy with themselves and know that we can do this without approval from them. We actually have it. It's all up here and in here. We just have to use these to actually make it to get us to where we need to get to.
Exactly. And bring the minds together, because you might be brilliant at one thing and you're deficient in another, whereas this person might be brilliant at that thing and they're deficient in what you're brilliant at. So if we come together, like you said, I think you described family earlier, and on closing, I think you described family earlier where we are different. We don't get along. You might class yourself as Christian, that person might class themselves as queer, that person might class themselves as trans, that person might class themselves as Muslim. Don't matter. We're under one roof. And when you walk out the door, that's when you become what you are. And it's that's the kind of industry that we need, that sets aside men.
We all have one goal, and that's to achieve greatness together and not seek approval from the people who he so-called gatekeepers. So-called.
Yeah. People who want to give approval anyway, they don't really care about.
They don't care. No,
so I mean, like,
they look in our direction.
Even
if they give us approval, they'll give approval to the select that strokes their ego. That's the only ones that get there. I pay attention to the industry. I've seen our people be up there as well. I've seen what those people have done to get to where they get to. Like, you don't need to sell yourself.
No, don't.
You don't need to sell yourself to make it. Like, I understand you want to make it. Believe in yourself and you will make it. That's.
And there's all different versions of making it.
Mm-hmm. That's literally it.
I think we're gonna have to do a part 2. Because this is gonna.
I'm down. Even 3, 4, 5, 6.
But guys, again, give thanks for joining us on the show. It's been a pleasure. I've wanted to do it for a long time. I think next time we'll do one with a few more men and we'll just sit around the table.
We should do a tattoo one. Well, tattoo as well.
Do you know what? That was my man's original idea.
Yeah?
So yeah,
you got good ideas, bro.
We can bust that still. Yeah. Anyway, give thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, that's Vture.
That button at the bottom.
Ding, yeah. Press
subscribe and follow us.
Like the video, share the video. Give thanks for watching. 1,
2.